Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Comics Review. I am David Allen, or if you would like, you can call me Super Dave 817. I would like you to like, share, and subscribe and hit the notification button if you would like to see more content like this. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Comic and G.I. Joe Review. I am David Allen. If you'd like, Super Dave. We have some news to cover today. We also have some bunch of new G.I. Joe comics to go over because this is a comic book review and a couple of new products that I got in that I wanted to cover with you guys today. First off, before we get into the comic book stuff, I want to talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles G.I. Joe crossover by Playmates. So they've been doing these crossovers for quite some time. There's Thundercats ones, there's Masters of the Universe ones, there was some Transformer ones announced. When they announced Transformers, I had a feeling we were going to get G.I. Joe. So they have announced G.I. Joe. It looks like there's a Snake Eyes, there's a Shipwreck, there's a Destro or Cobra Commander. Looks like Heavy Metal, maybe Roadblock, some Ninja, one of the ninjas, one of the other ninjas. Let me see if I can get a clearer picture of this. Trying to see who that is. Some different versions of the Vipers, maybe. And so then there's also going to be a helicopter and a motorcycle that they're going to be doing. So we're going to be getting a Dragonfly homage and a Ram homage. And it looks like maybe an Striker homage with Scarlet slash April O'Neil homage. So that's all the stuff that's going to be coming through that crossover. But it's an interesting thing because Playmates has just lost the license to do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the fact that they're doing a G.I. Joe crossover as one of the last things is very interesting. Yep, Ostriker as well. Thank you, Casual Toy Collector, for joining us. Shell Striker, yep. Yep, so we got the Dragonfly, the Shell Striker, and the Ram motorcycle as vehicles. And then it looks like there's 8 figures with different variations of characters, like the Turtles as different characters like Snake Eyes and Shipwreck, and looks like Roadblock and somebody else. And then Destro is one of the mutants. Cobra Commander is obviously Shredder, and then one of the other mutants is some sort of Viper, and so on and so forth. And then obviously Scarlet is April O'Neil. And I don't know if anybody comes with the Dragonfly helicopter or the Ram motorcycle. What's up, Dave? Hey, Woody. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about a little bit of the G.I. Joe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossover today. And we're going to go over the new comics and a couple new items that I got in recently. So what do you guys think about this? Do you think these crossovers are worth our time as collectors? Do you think they're worth Playmates and Hasbro doing these collaborations? And I guess they've been doing it with Mattel as well, because they did it with Masters of the Universe, and then they've done it with Thundercats. So this is like the 4th time they've done these crossovers that I'm aware of. Maybe they've done other stuff back in the day. They obviously did Universal Monsters, and they did other stuff, but I'm curious what you guys think. Yeah, I can't wait to get these. I say I saw them, and I'm all in my 2 favorite properties. There you go. I'm glad that it appeals to you, Woody. I'm glad that you're getting it. I'm not getting them at all. I think I'm going to be one of those people that's going to wait, myself personally. I heard someone make a comment that Krang should have been the snake armor. Yeah, well, you know, if this does well, actually, I don't think if it does well because Playmates lost the license to do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I don't know how long this is going to go. This may be the only wave of these that we ever get. Um, Casual toy collector. They look cool, but gotta stay focused to save some cash. LOL. Yeah, I'm kind of with casual toy collector. I'm gonna wait to see them at Target, and if they come out, and I'll see if I can get them at retail that way, because it seems like most of them, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossovers have been at Target. Masters ones, Thundercats ones have been there. I'm not sure if the Transformers ones were there or Walmart. I can't recall. But yeah, I think they're neat. I think they're cool. For those of you that want them, I'm glad that you're going to get them. I'm going to be a wait and see on this, because it's one of those situations that's going to cause some money problems because there's 3 vehicles, so that's going to be expensive. I don't think any of the other waves got vehicles. Did the Masters, did the Thundercats, did the Transformers get vehicles? I don't recall them ever doing vehicles for those. The fact this is a vehicle line, G.I. Joe, it's funny that they're turning 3 of the main GI Joe vehicles into mutant turtle vehicles. So it's going to be expensive regardless, because you got 8 figures and you got 3 vehicles. So that's not cheap. So all right. So well, I'm glad that some of you guys want it, and some of you guys are gonna pass, and some of you guys are like me. You're gonna see how it goes. We'll just wait and see, I guess. So then now we're gonna go into the G.I. Joe comics for this month. First off, we're going to do the Dreadnought War from Skybound Energon Universe, part 4 of 5. There with Duke and Cobra Commander. So Duke has got to defend the Cobra Commander in this. He's going to fight off a whole bunch of Dreadnoughts until Cobra Commander gets freed, and then he goes on the run again, and they're trying to figure out why Duke is doing this, and because he wants information, he says, from Cobra Commander about the whole Energon situation. The Dreadnoks are like, well, we know more about the Energon because we were using it before he took it over. And then Destro and his team capture Hawk, and they try to make a deal with Hawk, but Hawk isn't having it, and Hawk defends himself, and he escapes, and they're a little surprised at that. And then all the other Dreadnoks are fighting Duke and trying to capture him, and then all the Joes arrive finally to help him out. Clutch and Baroness and Risk and all these guys and Stalker, they all show up to help Duke, and then the Dreadnoks realize that Cobra Commander escaped, and then he chopped up Buzzer, and then he says, if you want a war, you got a war. And he goes after him. And Road Pig's a big character in this story. And then here's the cover for the next issue. 17 is on the way. And then we have all the variant covers there. So we have cover A is the Tom Riley one, which is this one. And then we have the cover B, which is the Tonsi Zonjic cover, which is the Hound cover. And then we have the Dreadnought Ripper cover, Ben Oliver, that's C. And then we have the D cover, which is actually that was Buzzer. Sorry, Buzzer. And then the Ripper cover is D. The Jesus Marino and Adriana Lucas. And then the E cover is the Thunder Machine, EJ Sue. So those are all your covers there for all those. But they're really doing a good job with this so far. I'm very happy with what they're doing. Let's see. I like to see a classified version of the Dreadnoks Wars Cobra Commander. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool. Hey, Lone Dragon, thanks for joining us. Super Dave, Bobby World. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff with Skybound that I want to see. I don't know. With Skybound, there's a lot of opportunity, right? So we could get Transformer full scale Transformers like the collabs, like we've been getting with the collabs, where they have O-ring figures and they transform. Would we get Skybound O-ring figures? Would guys want that, and then get Transformers that are scaled to that? Like get like a Starscream with a parachuting Duke, get a Hound with a clutch, get who else? Get Megatron, get several of the other ones that are with G.I. Joe, or even Skybound characters, and do those as sets. But they would have to be O-ring, because I don't know about doing classified versions like that, but you can do classified of characters we've never gotten before, like Risk, Good Baroness, Scruffy Duke, Viper, that type of stuff. General Flag, those type of characters. I guess Matt Tracker, Miles Mayhem. Everybody's saying hi to everybody in the chat. So that's some opportunities that we can get for classified figures and some collab 4-inch O-ring style figures as well, or 3 3/4 O-ring style figures. So we have two ways to get Skybound. And then maybe they could do some of the other Transformers from Void Rivals, like Hot Rod with one of the Void Rival characters, Springer with a Void Rival character, maybe with Pythona or one of the Royal Guards or something like that. That might be some cool, fun stuff. You can stick Wheelie with somebody as a extra character. There's a lot of interesting things to do with G.I. Joe and Skybound, but we'll just have to wait and see how it all pans out. So then we're going to go into Larry Hama's issue, which is 323, with the art by Paul Pelletier. I forgot to mention the art on this. This is written by Joshua Williamson, art by Tom Riley, and Jordi Belair is the team on issue 16 of the Energon G.I. Joe. And then the team on the Larry Hama G.I. Joe is Paul Pelletier, Larry Hama, and Cordos Segala. And this is an interesting story as well, where Cobra Commander is getting all of his loyal subjects together to try to make a defensive or an offensive against Destro, who has taken over Cobra Broca Beach, I guess. And Destro is trying to get information out of I shouldn't say Cobra Commander is trying to get some information to figure out how we can go on the offensive. And then Zartan is in my neck of the woods, Daytona Beach, and he's got some people there, all the Dreadnoks coming together. And he's like, wait a minute, I don't trust Cobra Commander, and I don't know what Destro's doing. I need to get all my forces together. He does, but he does it in Daytona Beach. And it's a really funny story where some biker guys think they can go in there and give the Dreadnoks a hard time, and Zartan changes into a clown and he beats the living crap out of them. And then Destro's on the offensive, and he goes after the forces of the Blue Ninjas on Cobra Island, and their forces have been invading the United States for a while, because they've been all the people that have been going to the casino, they've been putting chips in the back of their necks, and they've been bringing them back out there after their vacations, and now they're going to be sleeper agents. So all four of these factions are coming for the United States in one way or another. Cobra Commander's faction, his faction includes the Crimson Twins, Tomax and Sama, Scrap Iron, Firefly, Copperhead, Wild Weasel, Major Blood, Overkill, and Crystal Ball, which Crystal Ball, I don't remember Crystal Ball ever being in Larry Hama's continuity. So that's a very strange inclusion in these comics. Maybe someone can tell me where Crystal Ball appeared in the Larry Hama continuity. I've never seen him in there, unless it was in IDW period. maybe someone can correct me on that, but I don't remember Crystal Ball being in there. So GI Joe, this is like an entire Cobra issue. This entire issue, it just goes over the 4 factions of Cobra that are coming for the United States. Um, let's see. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. I got a pending charge from Entertainment Earth. Looks like they are finally going to actually ship the IG I pre-ordered. Oh, the Iron Grenadier? Wow. I don't know what it is with Entertainment Earth. They are very slow and they overcharge on shipping and stuff like that. I'm having problems with I had problems with them, so I stopped getting my stuff from them because of their shipping and their charging overly charging on shipping. um, so then we have the next issue there. They're going to be in space on that cover there. And then let's see. I don't think uh, I don't have the variant covers. I guess Larry doesn't have a variant cover of this. There's probably a vehicle one, and then there's a black and white one for this. So there you go. That's GI Joe 323. And then we have Void Rivals. We have the Quintesson War has started, and they are going after everybody. IG bats that were on the same order came in a year ago. Yikes! I can't believe that. So this is part 1 of the Quintesson War with the Void Rivals, and you can see them on the cover there, and Celia and Jarek on the cover as well down there, and they are after everybody. There's nobody that's going to be able to stop the Quintessons. They are not happy. And then Zarek and Zalek and Zelia are at odds with each other as well, because they feel like they've been betrayed, and so they're at odds with each other as well, and they're coming for each other in this war, and it's like a 3-pronged war where they're all going to be fighting each other. It's going to be a really interesting story, and to see how it unfolds. I think it's going to end up unfolding where they go and explode the portal, and maybe we get to see some interesting characters come out of the portal. 610 Yojo Daddy, let the Quintesson War begin. You got it. So then we have all these variant covers. Look at them all. There's a boatload of variant covers there. So we have the cover A is Lorenzo De Felici. Cover B is Andre Bresson and Adriana Luca. Cover C is Ben Oliver. Cover D is Carmine Di Giandomenico. Dimencio. Cover E is Lyrics. Cover F is Ludo Lullaby. Cover G is a blank sketch. Cover H is Lorenzo Delafici. I think it's a chromium type cover. Cover I is Andre Milano and Andres Juarez. It's another mask cover. And then cover J is Andrea Milano and Andres Juarez, another mask cover. And then cover K is a die cut cover, Eric Conte, and it shows the cut there where they're coming through the package because they're being attacked. These are the 2 masked covers. So there you go. There's lots of good stuff happening in Void Rivals. Make sure you pay attention to that. Let's see. Bobby World. The best part of Void Rivals so far has either been the Shrillex, Can the Transformers for Pythona and Cobra Lost Soldiers. I have not learned any of the characters' names from Void Rivals other than Handroid. Well, there's Celia and Jarek are the 2 main characters, and then there's Zalek. Obviously, there's Pythona, the Royal Guards, there's Springer, there's Wheelie, there's Rodimus. So there's a bunch of characters there. Everyone just stopped by to drop a like and say hello. Unfortunately, I'm still at work, so I'll have to catch Joe Fan 84. Thank you for joining us. Catch the replay later. Have a good one. Thank you very much. Sean Jones. Let's see. Sean Jones, what's up, Bobby? Everybody's saying hello to everybody again. Hey, yep, yep. All saying hello. All right, so then we're gonna go into Transformers. Now, Transformers is going to be an interesting one. This is done by Robert Kirkman, Dan Mora, and Mike Spicer. Um, so at the end of the last one of the Jets uh, kind of joined Optimus Prime because he saw how he was treating him. I think it was a Thundercracker or something was helping Optimus Prime, and so he became an Autobot. Skyfire or Jetfire returns this time, and he talks about what happened. We lost several of the Transformers. Bumblebee's injured, Ratchet's injured, and so then the humans are cleaning up Chicago. General Flag shows up and thanks the Transformers for helping them, and they make a deal with Ultra Magnus, and so that's all going on. And then General Flag comes back and he beats the crap out of Miles Mayhem in this issue. And Miles Mayhem is not happy, and he has to take a powder after this beating that he got from General Flag. And General Flag is like, I'm on all solid muscle. You can't take me. So he beats the crap out of him. And so Optimus Prime and is back, and then they're trying to figure out what they're going to do moving forward. And he's going to try to get rid of the Decepticons, is Optimus Prime's mission. And then there's Shockwave is revealed to not be dead, and he's still going to be coming after the Autobots and trying to figure out what's happening with him as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on in Transformers. Robert Kirkman's doing a really good job following up on Daniel Warren Johnson's run. So then let's see, we have all the variant covers for Transformers. There. There. All the Transformer variant covers. So cover A is David Nakayama. Cover B is Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer. Cover C is Jorge Corona and Mike Spicer. Cover D is Lorenzo Della Fici. Cover E is Dan Mora and Andre Juarez. So those are all your covers, and that's what's happening in Transformers. This is issue 27 of the Energon Skybound Transformers. Then we got G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, issue 152, Redux. Hama, Gosher, Koblash, Chi, and Williams is the team on this. And there's a variant cover by Chris Moynihan. A beautiful, like chalk type piece of artwork there. I love it when people do stuff like on all black or all brown or all white, where you can see all the color pop with the shading, the inking and stuff like that. It looks beautiful. Looks very much like an old Joe Kubert cover to me, and I really like it. And so these are the reprints of old G.I. Joe issues with little essays in the back by Larry Hama explaining what's going on in the issue and talking about the history of the issue, which I really like. And that gives me a way to talk about these issues a little bit with these essays that Larry's doing. And then they have three different variant covers: the new cover, the original cover, and then I think a chromium type embossed cover. So let's see what Larry has to say in here about issue 152. It's a story that has to do with Joe Colton, and he's cleaning up a little bit of the plot that he had set up with Joe Colton earlier. Since he knew that the series was ending soon, he wanted to make sure he cleaned all that up. So here we go. This is what Larry had to say in this essay. When I sat down to write issue 152, I was already aware of the pending cancellation of the title, so I thought I should start to tie up loose ends. I had introduced the mysterious Joe Colton as the head of a special support unit hidden in the spire of the Chrysler Building in New York City. Jane was his next in command. They were, of course, based on the original 12-inch G.I. Joe figures, and Joe even had an approximation of the flocked beard. I wanted to give Joe Colton a real origin, and what evolved was his experience in Vietnam as a young lieutenant. I don't want this to be a spoiler, so I will skim over the details, but I did include a meeting between Joe Colton and a real historic figure just a week before a national tragedy, and that established the formation of a new special unit to be called G.I. Joe. Um, the character in Colton's A team is Nam were named after real people. Angel Vasquez was a classmate from high school of arts of design and enlisted after graduation and was KIA less than a year later. Larry Hama. So one of the members of Joe Colton's team was named after a real person, and it was a friend of Larry Hama's that was in his arts and design school. And then the story has Joe Colton meeting a famous figure that helps him form the G.I. Joe elite team. So it's a great issue. It's a great story. I love that they went back and explained some of this and gave us a little inside information on this. I'm really enjoying these issues and talking about those the old issues on there about GI Joe and the history and stuff like that. It gives me a little bit more opportunity to talk about the comics, and so now I can do more with these episodes, these comic book episodes. So, are you guys enjoying all the Skybound comics? Are you reading the Skybound comics? What is exciting about them? What don't you like? What do you think is coming in the future? I really think we're going to get a Mask series here pretty shortly. I would not be shocked if we had to get a Mask series by the middle of summer sometime. I think they'll probably be talking about that during New York Comic Con, I would guess. And then maybe the animated series, the Energon animated series. We'll see what goes on with that. That's coming up too. And then we got another bit of news. There was some screenshots, I guess, or some not screenshots, some computer I don't know what to call it, like some uh footage, I guess you can call it footage of Snake Eyes from the 3-0 Snake Eyes video game that's coming out, and it looks phenomenal. It's very gritty, very down to earth, dirty. The Snake Eyes images look excellent. So I'm looking forward to that game. I'm still trying to get Wrath of Cobra. I got to figure out how to get that. I guess it's on PC and it's on the Switch version 2. So I have to get that. I've been wanting to get it. It's just there's so much going on, and it's hard to keep up with all this GI Joe stuff. So yeah, that Snake Eyes game looks good, and I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys are too. It should be really interesting. So then I wanted to show you something that came in the other day. I got from my good friend Roger Taft, who is one of the writers and editors at After Action Report, which is a series of GI Joe guides that they've done, talking about the comics and talking about a lot of the history of GI Joe with their book series. They've done like 7 books, and then they're doing like a who's who. Son of a Crayon Slayer. Hey now, hello. Thanks for joining us this evening. We're going over lots of stuff today. Some news, some G.I. Joe Skybound comic stuff, and some things that I just got in this week. So the next book in their series is the next volume of Command Files, which is kind of like a series that they did in the 80s, which is the Order of Battle, a miniseries. They're doing this is a new series in vein with that, but way more expanded, more history, includes all the variations of all the different characters and stuff like that. They did a volume last year. There was a GI Joe volume, and they needed to do a second GI Joe volume because there's way more characters and way more vehicle drivers and factions of G.I. Joe that they needed to cover. So they did another volume of G.I. Joe. So they said in the back, the third volume of this is going to be a Cobra volume. So we will see that. Let's see. Yeah, it says the next volume here on that page is Cobra Command Files in, let me see this. I can't get that in 2027 there. So this is very interesting. There's a lot of interesting stuff. There's stuff on the pit in here. There's all kinds of articles with different writers and people and historical documents and stuff like that. They really, really, really go all out. There's some beautiful artwork in this. There's a lot of file card information. There's all the art is done by all different types of artists and stuff like that. The creator of this is Greg Augustin, and he's done an excellent, excellent job. There's an interview with Ron Rudat in here. If you guys have a chance to go over to After Action Report and kickstart this, actually the Kickstarter is already funded, and then we got it. Then there's a whole thing on the ranks, a whole bunch of really interesting birthplaces of the Joes. What else? Index and stuff like that. And there's all kinds of really cool stuff. And there's a beautiful cover on this, and it's a wraparound cover. And if you put all the covers together, if you put the two covers for issue 1 and issue 2 together, they create like a big diorama piece, similar to like the way they used to do the Marvel handbooks back in the day, where all the handbooks connected. So they did that, and it's fantastic. There's so much information in these books. The ones that they've done so far is they did Larry Hama's comics, they did the IDW Larry Hama comics, they've done, I think, all the Transformer G.I. Joe crossover type stuff in a book. They've done 2 command files. They did a history of issue 21, Snake Eyes G.I. Joe issue 21. They did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are your 7 books. And then they just did the Kickstarter of the trivia book in November, and that's coming up. That'll be the 8th book. And then the command files will be their 9th book. So they're making some really good books. If you guys are into books, you want to know about the history of the comics, of G.I. Joe, the characters and their histories and stuff like that, then I suggest you go over to After Action Report and try to get some of those books, or contact Josh Egeman or Roger Taft or Greg Augustin. Any of those guys could probably help you get some of these books. They're definitely worth your time. So everybody's still saying hi in the chat. So let's go and talk a little bit and see what you guys' thoughts are on some of these things. So what do you guys think about possibly getting a mask series? What do you think about what Skybound's been doing with all this stuff? Roblox shows up in the next issue. And then there's rumor that Snake Eyes might be coming down the road very soon. And I believe Skybound might be introducing the leader of the Dreadnoks. We've seen a lot of the other Dreadnoks, but we haven't seen the leader. So there's a rumor that the leader of the Dreadnoks, and you know who that is coming as well. So we got a couple of cool characters to look forward to in G.I. Joe Skybound universe. And Transformers, they're doing some phenomenal stuff. Skybound, Energon, Void Rivals, they're doing great stuff there. So let's get into some of this stuff. What do you guys think? Do you have any opinions? Do you want certain things in Skybound, or feel free to let me know. So this is for you guys, so you can contribute and we can talk about this stuff. And what about that crossover, G.I. Joe TMNT crossover? Do you like that, or would you have preferred them not do it, or is there another crossover that you think would have worked better with TMNT? Let me know. I'm here. I have some time to kill. So I don't know. I think the TMNT thing is interesting. I had a feeling that was coming after the Transformers one, but I like the selection of the characters. Obviously, let's see. You think the crossover is trash? Raw talk, real deal. You think it's trash? Woody, I want to see more vehicles from the Ara days. You want to see more vehicles from the Ara days. In what way? In classified, or do you want to see crossover like collabs, like the Transformer collabs, or in TMNT GI Joe crossover, or in what way, Woody? Um, I I don't know. 3-star draw. Real or not, this crossover is an inevitable, like Thanos. Yeah, it was inevitable that we're going to get it. I agree with you there. 3-star draw in the comics. Oh, you want to see more vehicles in the comics, the Skybound comics? Yeah, because they've been focusing so much on Hound, right? They really haven't showed that much. They've showed a lot of characters, but they really haven't showed any vehicles. You're right about that. Woody, you're right about that. Been reading G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe Ara, and Void Rivals. Dreadnought War is more like a Dreadnought skirmish. Okay. Duke is not. He's in rough shape. You sure? It's like a one-on battle with Duke. It's interesting. After this Turtles crossover, so if I don't know if there's really any left that I would want to see. Ah, okay. Yeah, because they did Masters, Thundercats, Transformers, now G.I. Joe. Really, who else can they really do? Maybe Barbie? I don't know. In 2030, there's not going to be a toy line that doesn't get infected with Ninja Turtles. Surprise, not a Ninja Turtles lobotomus. Oh, I see. Okay, Bobby World. Um, Raw talk, real deal. Yeah, because they are trying too hard instead of just leaving IP alone and creating new characters to push these brands forward. Yep, there you go. Plus, they did Gem already too. They already did Gem with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't remember that. Um, they did figures of Gem from Loyal Subjects, but I don't remember TMNT crossing over with Gem. Would he? Unless I missed something. Plus, um, I don't know, but I think there's other stuff you could do. Maybe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Hot Wheels, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Barbie. Oh no, GI Joe. Oh, okay. Yeah, they kind of did GI Joe and IDW. Gem was in the IDW, and I think Super Seven had Gem. Loyal Subjects has also had Gem. So there's been some Gem stuff already out there. So that's interesting, Woody. Um, but I think there's still room for more crossovers if they wanted to. You know, they did those really cool crossovers with Mattel with GI Joe, where they did Hot Wheels with GI Joe, and they did Mega with GI Joe, and I don't know. I don't think there was a Barbie though. Um, let's see. Monster High Ninja Turtles eat a lot more pizza. There you go. Now there's you're thinking outside the box. Now I need a classified gem like yesterday. Oh yeah. Um, yeah, that would be kind of cool. 3-star draw. Um, she's teased on the cold slither box. Yeah, she is. I agree with you. I think we would get a gem and classified. I think they could do her. I know a lot of people that would love to have a gem classified figure. Yeah, I want one. I think it'd be awesome. Yo, DS, sup, brother. Everybody's saying hello. Yeah, there's some interesting crossovers we could still get, but it all depends. It has to be good. It has to be unique and it has to be interesting. I don't want to see crossovers that are just bland. For this Teen Mutant Ninja Turtle GI Joe one is very bland. I think. Yeah, it's 8 figures, it's 3 vehicles. I think the vehicles is what's making it interesting for me because GI Joe's a vehicle line, right? So that's what's bringing me into that and thinking, oh, this is kind of cool, So I think the Striker April O'Neil situation is going to be a hard one to get. But I don't know. I'm just gonna have to wait and see how it all works out and see how it unfolds. We'll see. Gem was a variant cover for Ryan's Toy Store, Toy Federation only. Um, yeah, they've done Gem variant covers in the past, I believe, back in the day. But yeah, that's a cool cover. But she was also on the, I think they were talking about, she was on the Cold Slither box set, and she had a call out. The Misfits had a poster call out, and Gem and the Holograms had a call out poster as well on the Cold Slither box set. Um, I have the Gem GI Joe comic. Yeah, I've been getting the. I didn't get it when it came out in the early 2000s when IDW did it, but I've been finding it in back issue bins, and I've been getting all those issues. It went for like what 20 issues, I think. Raw Talk Real Deal, or are you talking about the variant cover? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. The IDW series that went 20 issues, or the variant cover from Toy Federation. Um, so I think there's room for all this stuff. And the thing I believe a lot of the Hasbro GI Joe classified team has said, Emily, BMAC, Lenny, Tony, all of them has said that there's nothing off the table for GI Joe classified. So in order to do San Diego Comic-Con, cool stuff that not everybody might want, uh, that's the type of thing you should do. You should do stuff like Globulus. You should do stuff like Gem and the Holograms. You should do weird stuff like that not everybody's going to get. Those guys are the OG-13 that just want that military, or just want the vintage figures scaled up to 6-inch. Those guys might not want that stuff. But people that like cool, interesting, unique things like us, most of us here, I guess, would want something like that. I'm surprised Billy Blaster from the Deke series didn't get a poster. He was Metalhead Ideal. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That was a homage they missed, right? It says GI Joe on it. It's pretty much. I pretty much want it. Yeah. Well, that's it, right, Woody? You and I are in the same boat on that. And then Casual Toy Collector, what everybody. So there's some interesting things there, we're in the new year now. So 2026, I said it kind of in our episode that me and Woody did, our 250th episode, that this year they've got to really blow us out of the water, because 2025 was so good and there was so much cool stuff. It was like so difficult to choose what our top 10s were, that it I don't know how they can top it. And Gem and the Holograms, that would be up there. Globulus with his pod, with his movable tail, all the accoutrement, like that would be up there as well. Cool vehicles like the water moccasin, the shark, Destro and his despoiler, some more monsters to go along with, the mole rats, and the Corporal and the Gyre technology with Crystal Ball. More fun, cool sci-fi stuff. I really want the whole Eco Warriors, monster, zombies, cool type stuff. And maybe that's when we'll get Airtight finally. They will. They will, Casual Toy Collector, for the love of money. Yeah, for the love of money. Yeah, you're right. Version 2 Stalker, please, and thank you, Woody. Yeah, with the Arctic theme, I don't know if they're going to put out all this Arctic this year, because there's a lot of Arctic. If you really go into it, Woody, from your time frame, there's a lot of Arctic that we haven't gotten. We've got Blizzard. We've gotten Stalker version 2 with his kayak. We've got a lot of the variants from the 2000s. They did a whole Arctic set of DJ and a variant, second variation of Frostbite, and different characters. Stalker got a different repaint of the kayak one. Cold Front. Yep, there you go. What up, Kaz? And then Happy New Year, Raw. Raw Talk, Real Deal, Sub-Zero. Everybody's chatting in the Avalanche, Sub-Zero. Yeah, there's a lot of Arctic. So I don't know if we're going to get all this year. We know we're getting the 3-pack, the 2 Cobra and the Joe Troop Builder, right? We know we're getting Iceberg because that was name only. Will we get the Polar Battle Bear, that little thing that they shared, that little triangle gear thing? Is that a swamp skier with Zanya, or is it a battle polar bear leg? One of the two. And what else? What other Arctic do you guys think? I think it would be cool to get another Stalker. It's been a while since we got that retro package Stalker, and those are the only two Stalkers we've got. So I think they need to visit some of the older characters again. That's why I think we're going to get a Destro and the Despoiler. So yeah, I think another Stalker, another Destro is needed. I hope they make the old man that rescued Snake Eyes, since they already made the polar bear. Now that's an interesting thing, Woody, because if you watch my interview with Brian Flynn from around Thanksgiving, I asked him, I said, look, now there's a demand for this. You guys created the demand with the reaction plus Hermit with the sled and dogs, but now people want it for the classified line. So is the classified line going to lean into Sunbow more? I think they are. I think there's a lot of room for Sunbow in classified, especially with what we've already gotten. So whether they're going to go to the trouble of doing the old guy, he'd be the only one that they would need to make, because we already have Timber and Wolves. Like, we've got 4 or 5 variations of Wolves. So just make a bunch of them, 6 of them. Make the sled, make the guy. There you go. So yeah, I think that's a possibility. Woody. How about a Cobra Wolf? Yeehaw. Yeah, there you go. Will R 7284. Thanks for joining the chat. Casual Toy Collector. They're gonna do anything that makes money. Stay tuned for the PSA 2-packs. They're not doing PSAs, I don't think, because there's a legal thing going on with that. That's why Super 7 could only do 2. They're not going to be doing those. But that's funny, though, that you say that. Will R7284. Oh, and Quinn, the Eskimo. Well, yeah, I think they are going to do Quinn. That's definite in that. I think an O-ring Quinn as well from Super 7. Gunpowder Nitro. What's good, you hooligans? Hey, thanks for joining the chat. Let's see. Woody, sup, Willar. Woody, Gunpowder, sup. Everybody's saying hello. 3-star draw. They could do a whole subline of just Sunbow stuff, like the Filmation Motu figures. There's an interesting idea. A completely new line of classified that's Sunbow inspired. I think I like that, actually. PSA 2-packs. You say I'm all in for the pork chop sandwich kids. You guys are so funny. Will R. LOL. Yeah. What's up, Woody? Let's see. Bobby World. I'm Woody. I'm 2222. I'm using old man Hawkeye. What's a brown ghillie suit for my hermit that rescues Snake Eyes? There you go. That's a good idea. See, you guys are thinking outside the box, coming up with the things that you want. Nice one, Bobby. Yeah, I agree, Woody. I think we've got to a little bit use our imaginations and stuff like that. That's the cool thing about classified. It is a modular line. I've said this, I don't know how many times. You can take parts from one, heads from one, vehicles from one. You can mix and match, do whatever the hell you want to do. And that's the awesome part about this line. And that's what makes it good. In my opinion, if we were just getting a 6-inch version of the figures and you couldn't like do all that, it'd be kind of boring, I think. Bobby never misses. Yeah, he doesn't. He's very smart. Excellent custom, Bobby. One of these days, we're going to get Bobby World on here with us to chat and talk about some fun stuff. We've been trying to get people from the chat to join us. So if you want to join us one of these days, Bobby World, you let me know. Contact me in my Instant Messengers, David T. Allen. Let me know if you're interested. Send me your email and we can figure out an episode to have you join me on. Gunpowder Nitro. Next purchase for me probably be Trouble Bubble Snake Armor Claw. Yeah, all those are awesome. I love the Trouble Bubble. I love the Snake Armor. I love the Claw. Cobra is like killing it with their vehicles. I wish Joe was killing it. There's not enough Joe vehicles. Uh, let's see, Woody. Oh, Kick rocks. What's up, Joe Bros? Hey, thanks for joining the chat. We appreciate it. This is the first time in the chat. Woody 222 vehicles, heavy gunpowder, nice. Yeah, we are short. I think we're short on GI Joe vehicles. Let me see. How many GI Joe vehicles? Help me, Woody. What do we got? We got the Dragonfly. We've got the Vamp. We got the Ram, Tiger Ram. We got the Tiger Paw. We got the Oz Striker. We got the MMS with Hawk. We got the Snowcat on the way. What else do we have? That's it for Joe, I think, in vehicle. Am I missing something? Cobra's got twice as many vehicles, if I'm not mistaken, right, Woody? They've got we got two versions of the Hiss. We got the Rattler. We got the Stinger. We got the Snake Armor, the Claw, the HMS. We've got the Trouble Bubble, the Python Trouble Bubble, the Ferret. What else? What else am I missing? Casual Toy Collector. Pretty balanced, except Cobra has a jet. Okay. Tiger Paw. 9 versions of the Ram cycle. Oh yeah, then the Joe has the Night Force Ram. So I guess you're right. We just need one more big vehicle for GI Joe, and it would be pretty balanced. They could really do a Silver Mirage. They could do a Silver Mirage if they wanted to. I hope this year we get a lot of vehicles, but I hope they're new vehicles. I hope they're not redecos. The only redeco that I want to see this year is a Dreadnought Ground Assault. That's what I want to see. Coil Cycle, yeah, I said that. I like the retro classified figures. I like the old school card backs. Yeah, they're really good, Gunpowder. I think we should get some vehicles in retro boxes to go along with that. I think if we're going to get a vehicle, it should be the Water Moccasin. It should be Zartan's Swamp Skier with Zanya. It should be stuff like that. We already have the figures. Maybe like a Wolverine with a different version of CoverGirl or something like that. Yes, retro vehicles. Yep. LOL rocks repping. Yep. So I don't know. I would like to see that. But I like your idea. The Sunbow idea is a good idea. We can get a lot of interesting vehicles in that. We can get the Mass Device. We can get the Weather Dominator. We can get the BET. We can get the Aspid helicopter. We can get maybe the October Guards vehicle. And some of those like the sled with the Hermit, that type of stuff with that line, that Sunbow line. And then you'd have 4 distinct classified lines going at the same time with the main line, the retro line, and the anniversary legacy line. And then that would really work. Let's see. Woody, Dave, are you getting the new Gridiron tank? Unfortunately, not. I want to. That medical tank, that rescue tank. Oh my God, is that beautiful? I want it, but like I've said before, my bandwidth is so thin as it is. Getting the things that I do get, that I don't know about that. I just don't know. Maybe if I see it, sometimes I see things at Joe Fest and I'll be like, oh my God, like I saw the Skyhawk, the Tiger Skyhawk, that they were doing. Woo, boy, is it big. And it's beautiful. So I was able to try to get that. I'd like to see more smaller playset based things like the modular fortifications, except good ones. Yeah, I know we're going to get another bivouac, a Joe bivouac. I think we will get some vehicle, some playset type stuff like that in the future. They've hinted at it. So the retro classifieds is a different line than the standard figures, since the retros aren't numbered. Correct. Correct, Gunpowder Nitro. Yes, they're not numbered. They're just more closely decoed, like their vintage 80s variations. Cobra Overlord with his Dictator. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Overlord, we haven't gotten yet, and he's a 90s character, Will R. So I'd like to get him. Checkpoint Alpha. Yeah, I would love a Checkpoint Alpha. I have a 3D printed one. A friend of mine, Terry Ruin, did for me. That's perfect. Also pack rats, and some Cobra ones to counter it. Yeah, I agree, because I liked that Scrap Iron. His rocket launcher is basically a pack rat. I think we should get a redeco of that for Joe and get the other two as well, and have them come with different figures. And that's a really cool way to get the pack rats and get different figures as well. I like that 3-star draw. That's a good idea. Me either. Too expensive. Yeah, it's too much. Will our pack rats? Yes. So I don't know. There's so much stuff to come, so much stuff that is possible with this line. They said there's nothing that is off the table. So if we can think it up, I'm sure if they feel that they can do it reasonably, they'll do it. We've already got like 30 something items that have been name only, um, already pre-ordered, leaked, clues, renders. There's like 30 something things. And we haven't even got the first thing yet this year. And we already know of like 30 something items coming this year. That's a lot of stuff. So if all that stuff actually happens, great. But what else, right? We need in that 30 something items, there's a water moccasin with a trooper. There's a shark with a trooper. There's Deathstro and his despoiler. There's Dusty version 2 with Sandstorm. There's a bunch of troop builders. There's a Fatal Fluffy. I don't think we're getting a Fatal Fluffy. There's Zanya with a swamp skier. There's a possible iceberg. All this stuff is on the way. Did you guys order your Arctic Hiss tanks? I ordered 2. Can't wait to see those bad boys. Yeah, I had a theory on that, Gunpowder, that I'm going to share in just a second. Hello, everybody. Paul Morales, 1976. Hey, Paul, thanks for joining us in the chat. You're a new person in the chat. We appreciate it. Woody222, Destro's Demon. HasLab, Woody. So I'll get to that, Woody. I'll circle back around. But let me talk about this Arctic Assault Hiss. So that yesterday was the last day of the Arctic Assault Hiss. I hope that it got enough people to buy it so it will get. I didn't see any emails saying that it didn't get picked up. So that's a good sign. So that means enough people got it that we're probably going to get it. But the way that I did it was I broke my orders up. I did one right on the first day, so it was December 4th, and then I ordered one like on the 3rd. And so I broke my orders up into 2 orders. I got 2 as well. And so I'm hoping when they charge me, they'll charge me in 2 different installments, and I'll get like 213 and 213 charges with the Pulse premium membership instead of $450 all at once. So that was my theory behind that, and I hope you guys were able to do that as well. I bet they do a Fatal Fluffy before it's over with, based on the how well the Super 7 one sold. Everyone likes that polar bear. Yeah, that's true. You're right about that. Saying hi in the chat. Saying hi in the chat. Everybody saying hi in the chat. Woody, I hope so. I never ask Hasbro for anything, but give me a demon, please. All right, so here's the theory on the demon. So me and Woody talked about this the other day, last week, I guess. And I think that's the only Iron Grenadier vehicle I think they could do as a HasLab, because not only does it have playability with Destro and the Despoiler, it is a centerpiece for your Iron Grenadiers army. And we have a lot of Iron Grenadiers we haven't gotten yet. We still haven't gotten Voltar. We haven't gotten the diver. I can never remember the diver's name. Who's the diver, Woody? Um, we haven't gotten the Targets, we haven't gotten the Incinerators, we haven't gotten, there's like dozens of Iron Grenadiers. The heavy gunner ones, the Arctic ones, there's so many Iron Grenadiers. So I think we're going to be getting a lot of Iron Grenadiers over the next 2 years. I think it's going to be very heavy Iron Grenadiers. Let's see. All right, guys, I'm here. New York Knights. Yay, you've joined us. Hello again. Woody, I think they've got to charge everybody at the same time like they have in the past. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any way around that. Most people are charged within 2 days. So you think we're going to get this shipped out sometime in November? You think they're going to charge me twice at that same time? Oh, good. What's up? Undertow. Thank you, Woody. Will R. Thank you, Undertow. Undertow is a very easy figure to do, I believe. Everybody's saying hi again, because there's like 8 divers. So take some parts of some of these divers, do a different deco, add maybe 1 or 2 new accessories, and there you go. There's Undertow. Very easy figure to do. Woody, sounds like you miss your opportunity to ask them anything since they're moving out your neighborhood. Well, yeah, it's not that far out of his neighborhood. Boston's not that far. That's my hometown. So we'll see how it goes. But, so I do think we're going to get a demon. I just think it's going to be a few years. I don't think it's going to be this year. I think they're going deep water this year. That's why we're going to be getting the water moccasin, the shark, and stuff like that. So I think we're getting Moray HasLab this year. Next year, it'll be G.I. Joe something. I don't know what at this point. As long as they give Undertow the square off fins. Yep, there you go. See, that's a new thing they can add to it, Woody, to make it unique. They should make a modular diorama shelving system, G.I. Joe Pit and or Cobra Temple as a HasLab or made to order exclusive. There's been a lot of discussion about that Raw Talk Real Deal, because people want a Terradrome. And the only way you're getting a Terradrome, the way that you guys want it, is to do it in pieces. So it's kind of like the old Star Wars playset of the Death Star, where it was like a wedge, a pizza wedge. So that's how we're going to get the Terradrome. So as a HasLab, if that comes as a HasLab, you can buy like 5 wedges, because a HasLab can be bought in 5, right? So then you can modularize it, and all the stretch goals could be a different compartment. So then they give you 4 compartments or 5 compartments with different stuff in it. And then computer consoles with chairs. And then there's an attachment for the fire bat. And then they put the fire bat out as a separate vehicle down the road. That's really the predominant thought process of a Terradrome if they did it. I think it could be done, but we'd have to buy 5 of these parts in order to get the whole Terradrome. That's the only way I see that working. Are you guys willing to do a HasLab for like $200? 5 times, that's $1,000. But I don't know. That's just that's my theory on a Terradrome or a Cobra headquarters. And if they do a G.I. Joe headquarters, I think they should do parts with a figure, like do Sparks with a computer room, do a different clutch with a repair bay, do a helipad with Flash or somebody with a rocket pack, do different parts of the G.I. Joe headquarters with a figure as a figure and kind of a playset accessory, and you can build this entire playset for the G.I. Joe headquarters. That's the only way you're getting a G.I. Joe headquarters, in my estimation. But I think it can be done. I do think it can be done if they put their energy to it and their efforts to that. I think it's doable. That's just me. But bro, you need a job at hospital. Thank you, Gunpowder Nitro. AVAC figure confirmed. Uh, they're gonna do the AVAC. That's a Cobra, a little mini jet. It's like the Shark. It's gonna be a bigger version, but there's no doubt we're getting an AVAC with that vehicle. I'd be willing to bet on that, and that's the only way you're gonna get the AVAC and that vehicle for the Terradrome, right? Those two theories, are they wrong or are they right? And am I just imagining or coming up with fantasy? And maybe you have these different bays for vehicles. You have a helipad, you have a prison. Who would you put with the prison? A different person, like a green shirt, a different variation of the green shirt with the prison in the GI Joe headquarters, a computer room with sparks, the different repair bays and helipads. I think that would work, like 6 parts with figures. I think it would work. I don't know. I don't know. That's just me. I'm trying to be positive. That's the thing about this channel you guys are watching on here. I'm a positive person. I want to always look at the good side of things. I don't want to look at the bad side of things. But obviously, I'm a realist, and there's things that I know that we're never going to get. We're never getting a USS Flag. There's no way. Terradromes in one shot. We're not getting that. GI Joe headquarters in one shot. We're not getting that. The mobile command center, we're not getting that in one shot. There's no way. But you can do things in a modular way, and I think that's the way to go if they want to do it. And we just got the Fortification Cobra and Fortification Joe, and that is modular, and it's movable, and it's buildable, and expandable. So if they're thinking it like that, and they have that thought process, then they have a thought process for a GI Joe headquarters. How can they make this work? Gunpowder Nitro. Let's just do a flag, $1,500 limited quantity. Yeah, no. What a Paul. That's like that's my mortgage payment. With the insurance on it, Gunpowder Nitro. There's no way my significant other is gonna allow me to make a mortgage payment for a toy. And where would I put it? It'd have to go in my garage, and I already turned my garage into this theater that I'm sitting in. So where would I put it? It's the size of a car. That's how big it would be. Gunpowder Nitro. I love the thought. I think it's wonderful, and I love the imagination and the positivity. But the realistic thing about it is we're never getting a flag in classified. There's no way. But I've said it before. Woody knows this. I've said this many times. We could get a battle tactical platform, and I think it's something you could fold up, and it's big enough where it could be a HasLab, and it could be awesome because you'd have all these different pads, a helipad, these different gun turrets, a tow thing to hang the devilfish, a ramp to hook onto the beach or whatever you want to do outside, a weapons room with all kinds of extra gear and weapons, a whole huge computer room that you can include cutter with that, all kinds of awesome added on things. And you can put all those things, and the legs are extendable and they can shrink up. So you can fold that thing up, and it could be a figure case, but also, so it's something you could stick on a shelf in one sitting. So I think you can get that, but the flag, no. You can store it in my basement. I have a room. I'll keep the cobwebs off it for you. All right, you got it. 3-star draw. Ha! Oh my God, you guys are funny. Everybody's saying hi in the chat. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I love talking about this. It's fun. It brings me back to my childhood, and I love talking with you guys and hearing your ideas and stuff like that. Do you guys think we're going to get some Skybound classified figures this year? It's been a couple years, right? Do you think it's overdue? Are we going to get Risk? Are we going to get Viper? Are we going to get Good Baroness, Scruffy Duke? Are we going to get different other characters that we haven't even seen yet? Because we've been getting a lot of classified variations of the Dreadnoks. Like that Road Pig, I did a review not too long ago about Road Pig. It's exactly like the one in the comics. The same thing with Raptor. The same thing with a lot of the characters. It's right out of the comics. So who else do you think we could get from Skybound as classified figures? I think we're overdue for another Roadblock. It's been a while. We did get a lot of Roadblocks there for quite some time. We got the Tiger Force Roadblock not too long ago, but I think they could go back and retouch that number one classified figure. I guess it's number one, and his running variant. Bring that back as a vintage package and really make it look like that version 2 Roadblock. I think there's room for that. There's a lot of the figures I think there's room for re-decos for the retro line. Chameleon and Risk for sure. Yeah, definitely the two of them. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun year. I look forward to what's happening. We have less than a month till GI Joe Day, so we're gonna get a lot of stuff that week. So I'll be doing some reveals and things like that when it comes closer to that. Hopefully, a lot of the stuff that we've already got name only will get renders for, and some of the stuff that we've already got renders and we'll be able to pre-order, like the 3-pack, the Arctic 3-pack, the Royal Guard, the Mercer Red Dog. No, it's Red Dog and Taurus. Maybe we'll get that, and maybe some of these odds and end things. Maybe Iceberg. Maybe we'll get some of those clues revealed to us. Who's going to be with those? Because we know we're getting a Zartan version 2. We know we're getting a Zanya. We know we're getting the Hydra Viper. So maybe we'll get all their renders and we'll get some of those things revealed at GI Joe Day. So it doesn't stop with classified, it doesn't stop with this brand, which I'm very happy about, and I'm very happy that there's stuff for everybody out there, regardless if you guys want to get the TMNT GI Joe crossovers or not. I'm happy that you can get it. That's the thing. I'm glad that you have that option, and the people that don't, it's okay. So anything else going on? Anything else you guys want to talk about? It's going to be a really exciting year. So I think I already revealed my next episode is going to be another Redeco 2-pack exclusive. And I think that's all the clues I'm going to give you on that 2-pack. But that will be tomorrow. That'll be 138. And then I think we got some really, really cool stuff coming up. One of my all-time favorite figures finally got a figure from Classified. It is so awesome. I've been waiting to do this figure, and he's number 139, and I cannot wait to get to that character. I'm chomping at the bit because it's one of my favorite characters from the G.I. Joe Larry Hama comics from the 80s. They increased the amount of figure releases next year. Well, I don't know how they can Todd C continue to increase, because we had to have had like 60 something items this year. It's incredible. If you include the Arctic Assault Hiss as one of those pre-orderable items for this year, which it was, and we already ordered 8 other figures for this year pre-ordered. How can they keep going? We're not going to be able to afford this. 5-figure waves probably going to see a whole lot of repaints and Frankenstein figures. I agree with you, 3-star draw. There's definitely going to be every quarter, I think we will get a 5-figure wave and we will get a retro 3-figure wave. So every quarter, so we got the one that was pre-ordered in the fall for the winter drop. And then we're going to get one at Yojo or G.I. Joe Day for the spring. And then in the spring, we'll get one for the summer. And the summer, we'll get one for the fall. And it'll be one every quarter. So you get 8 figures right there. So that's 8 times 4, right? So what is that? 32 figures right there. 8 times 4. Yeah, 32 figures just there, right? Then that doesn't include figure and pet, figure and vehicle, deluxe figure, vehicle, larger vehicle, $100 vehicle price point, HasLab. Um, so all those price points are going to be touched on this year at some point. 2 packs, exclusives to Target, Walmart, Pulse, wherever. Uh, 3-star draw, yeah, 32 to 28, yeah. Um, Todd C. Supposedly brand new characters like Wolfspite. Yeah, there's another thing too. We're getting a new Joe and a new Cobra completely from scratch. Whoever they are, we won't know, but I do believe they will be in those 5-figure waves. So it's going to be like your Mole Rat stage 2, or your Grim Viper, or your your, I guess it was Gyre Viper. Who's the Ghost Viper? I don't know who it was. That type of thing, yes. And uh, Wolf Spider. Yeah, so we will be getting one of each, Cobra and Joe. So we're not only going to be getting redecos, we're going to be getting a few new, and we'll be getting stuff like that that will be reuse of existing parts that will have new characters. So there you go. Um, so yeah, this a lot. It's a lot. It's going to be a busy year. So make sure you guys pay off all your credit cards, get yourself financially in good shape, because if you're all in on classified, it is going to be tough. I feel bad for Woody, because Woody gets like 10 of every figure, and he's going to have to probably take another mortgage out on his house to pay for all the stuff he's going to be getting. Right, Woody? Uh, Oh man, Raw Talk, real deal. They need to do a new O-ring Transformers crossover. I need a Jetfire Sky Striker with Ace and Ripcord IMO. Hey, that's actually not a bad idea. I believe there is another one in the works. It's a Mobat with Hawk that transforms into Optimus Prime. That's the one that's on the cards. It's taken them a while because we got the Sergeant Slaughter one last year, and then we got the Void Rivals set during San Diego Comic Con. So I love that idea. Sky Striker as a collab Jetfire. I think that hits all the feels for me. Yes, definitely. Uh, hello, hello. Nah, OT will cover it. Oh yeah. Okay, overtime. Hey, I love overtime. Woody gets royalties. Oh my god. Uh, so, let's see. Gun gunpowder nitro. I'm selling firearms to get my stuff traded. My old garage poll kids for a vamp trying to downsize. I collect the too many different things. Yeah, me and Woody talked about it the other day. It is difficult. Um, you can see a lot of the stuff that I get. Obviously I get Haya, I get Super 7, I get classified, and I'm getting 2 of every classified. Not as much as Woody, but still it's expensive. And then I get a lot of books, I get a lot of comics, I get a lot of other stuff. I also support Renegade Games with a lot of the GI Joe games, and I support a lot of Kickstarters as well and stuff like that, that are things that I think are cool. And it's so it's difficult. I get Silverhawks, I get Thundercats. I'll probably be getting the Target Sharks, which we should be getting some sort of notification on them any day now. What else do I get? I also get the Jada Street Fighter. I get the Todd McFarlane Mortal Kombat Classics. I get a little bit of Transformers here and there, not a lot, but a little. I would like to get the mask, but I'm hearing really bad things about the quality of the mask. This hobby is expensive, AF, even if you're only buying one of each figure. Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right, Woody, about that. There's no doubt about it. So, and I still get Marvel Legends, and but I'm cherry picking Marvel Legends, and I'm cherry picking Star Wars, and only getting distinct Star Wars Black and distinct vintage Star Wars, not getting Stormtroopers and not getting things that they've done a million times, you know. So I get a lot. I get a lot of stuff. Uh, so there you go. Thank goodness I'm just into the Joes right now. Well, there you go. You're smart, Gunpowder Nitro. Oh boy, it's gonna be difficult. That's one of the main reasons why I've been doing the classified review series is so I can open some of my stuff to make room. Um, because with the package they take up a lot more room. Without the packages they don't. So it cleared up quite a lot of space. And when I'm done, it'll probably be by the end of the year that I'll probably get caught up. So by next Christmas, I'll be caught up with all these reviews and I'll be able to just get the new ones and review them as they come out. But I've been behind doing the reviews and stuff like that. But everybody's enjoyed it thus far. So that's cool. Did you get the new Duels End Vader? I think I did. Um, it's the one at the end of the movie where he takes the mask off and you see the older Anakin's face, and there's like lightning and everything, and it's Luke Skywalker with the green lightsaber and everything. That one, Woody. Yeah, I pre-ordered. I think I pre-ordered it. It hasn't gotten here yet. But yeah, I do cherry pick my Star Wars. But that was one I wanted because I don't think they've ever done that Anakin head on a Black Series figure before. The original Anakin, the older Anakin from that scene, I don't think. It's the it's the one from Kenobi where he slices his helmet in half. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about from the Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series. Yeah, the one where the mask. That's a very cool mask. The way that they did that, and you open it and you see his face. Oh, that's a really cool figure. Yeah, I got that. That's an awesome one. That's what I'm. That's one of those ones where if it's unique enough, I will get it. But I can only get so many stormtroopers. I'm telling you guys, stormtroopers are killing me. I'm like, how many variations of stormtroopers can they do? It's like, really? Um, I'm all in on GI Joe Cobra Troopers because they're awesome, but stormtroopers, I think I've given up. I've got so many Black Series figures. Sorry, I'm late. Auntie is here. Oh, okay, lady. Uh, Virgo, cool. Thanks for joining us. It's all right to be late. We're just talking toys and discussing cool stuff that could possibly come down the line and what we want to get and what we need to probably start paring down so we can make room for all this classified stuff next year. It's going to be a wild, wild ride next year. I'll tell you that. If a person was just starting to collect Joes, would you recommend trying to get all of them? Well, I would say if you're going to try to collect something, start small. So I would say start with the retro package. I think that's a reasonable, attainable goal because what is there? Woody, help me with this. Maybe 30 something figures right there. And they're all with the vintage package. They all look like their original vintage decos. And there's one or two that are very hard to get, like the Snake Eyes. It's a very hard one to get. But that's how I would go if I was this person. And then after that, I would get your favorite characters that were not in retro. So if you like Shipwreck, find Shipwreck. If you like Kamakura, find Kamakura. That's the way I would do it. That's an attainable small goal. I cut back on Transformers, but ramped up on clearance Motu. I one step forward, two steps back. Yeah, I also get Motu, and I'm getting their multiverse collection, and I'm dabbling in the retro package ones, the classic ones. I don't get all of them, but I do get them from time to time if I see them at a decent price. Todd C. Thank you for joining the chat. Walking around the house, I just got off. My new schedule will be some getting used to. Oh, okay. 25 so far, Woody. Retro package figures, that's it? That's all they've done is 25? Are you including the original Walmart ones too? 25 with Mickey Mouse, Cobra Commander. Um, this is where the cool people are. Hey, thank you, Sometime Toys. Uh, let's see. Shane. That sucks, V. Shane. Um, always Shane. There you go. Uh, Virgo, Woody, Paul. There you go. Everybody's saying hi in the chat. There you go, guys. So yeah, 25 plus the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander, that's 26. And then if you include the original 8 from the Walmart exclusive, that brings it up to 34, I believe. Yeah, I literally counted them yesterday for a video I'm doing. Oh, okay. Wow. Present. Everybody saying hi again. Haha, GB, giving him that view. Yeah, if I were to start now, I'd do retro card. That's the way to go. I think is your smartest bet. Start small, do an achievable goal, and then cherry pick characters that you think that you would want, and then try to find them, because they are out there. There's a lot of sales, there's a lot of opportunity to buy a lot of this stuff. Yeah, there are some rare things. Vehicles are harder to get, things like that. But yeah, start with an attainable goal and then go from there. That's the way I would do it if I were you. Find out people that have multiples of stuff and see if they're willing to sell some of it to you. So there you go too, because there are a lot of us did buy multiples, and a lot of us are selling some of that stuff off. Um, uh, yep, cheapest route possible. Yep. Um, so what else is going? What else you guys want to talk about? We got some time. You guys got some hot topics you want me to cover? Any questions? I'm still mad I never saw Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow on the pegs. Yeah, Storm Shadow I saw at Walmart, but there wasn't a lot of him. The Crimson Guard I saw more of, but Snake Eyes I never saw him in the store. Apparently in the northern states up there in the east, they got him at Walmart's. From what I understand, a few people I know said they saw him up there and got him. Let's see. Woody got multiples of everything. Dang thing. Yeah. Yeah. You're right, Woody. But he has the infrastructure to support something like that. They will always do another Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Get the one with the polar bear. Well, there you go. Zartan is a tough one too. Yeah, the later ones were all tougher because unfortunately the Baroness and Lady Jane, Destro and Gung Ho clogged Walmart's pegs for so long. They never really got a lot of the Zartan, Storm Shadow. Crimson Guard, they were able to clear it out enough to get him, and I saw him a lot more. But Snake Eyes, never. I never saw a cover girl at our Ross. Yeah, well, the Ross situation is one of those things that's up in the air. You can't look for stuff at Ross because it's not gonna be a winning situation or scenario for you. Same time towards, because I'm glad they changed the card back. Yeah, I am too. Because that's just a crapshoot. When you try to find stuff at clearance, it's a crapshoot. Hey, sometimes toys, 3-star. Everybody's saying hi in the chat. Let's see, what's this thing about TMNT and Joe's crossover? Oh, you're just getting here, roughshod stocks. It's the Playmates crossover, GI Joe, TMNT crossover. We covered at the very beginning of this episode. It's the it's the next next thing with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They've done Thundercats, they've done Masters of the Universe, they've done Transformers, and now the next thing is G.I. Joe. So those are your four biggest brands. That Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is the fifth. They're crossing over. Well, I guess you could say Marvel and DC and Star Wars, but that's all debatable. You got a whole case of cover girls at Ross. See, there you go. It's a crapshoot. You can't expect that sort of stuff, you know. But the thing you can do is you can talk to each other in the chat. You can contact each other in socials. Maybe somebody found some cover girls, and maybe someone can help you get her, and it might be easier. Help your buddy out. Help your friend out in another place that may not have seen something, like the guys that had the snake eyes up there in the north. Hey, why don't they help out people that only saw Crimson Guard, or only saw Baroness and CoverGirl, or Destro and Gung Ho? You know, that type of thing. We've got to help each other out and try to find stuff for each other, because yeah, there are places where I saw a lot more things. Like I saw the Zorana, the Crimson Guard, the Stalker wave very heavily down here at Walmarts and other places. And so that wave went very heavily to Ollie's and stuff like that, because there was too many of those. And then I think the wave after that was a little bit as well, if I'm not mistaken, the rock and roll, shipwreck, torpedo wave as well. Sometime, is that the retro cover girl? You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours for toys. There you go. See? That's what I'm talking about. That's helping each other out, being there for each other. That's why this is a community. Only thing I've ever found at Ross that was classified is the Marine Sniper. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the 60th anniversaries at my Ross and Ollie's as well. So there you go. No, the old one. So, you know, yeah, help each other out. I think that's going to be the thing, because it's going to be a really tough year when it comes down to it, trying to get all this stuff. But there's enough sales on Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Pulse, and Target, Walmart, GameStop. What else? All those places. There's tons of sales. So there's ways to get this stuff. It's just, you got to be smart about it. If you're on a budget and you want to get it, then figure out how to team up with somebody, have someone get you something, you get them something, trade, go to conventions. There's lots of people selling this stuff at really cheap prices at conventions too. And we got a lot of good conventions coming up this year. So that's another way to get a lot of this stuff fairly cheap. And if you can buy multiple things, 2, 3, 4 things at once from a vendor, you might get a discount or something like that, and work out a deal with a vendor in that way too. Hasbro prices out of hand. Yeah, they are out of hand. They have raised their prices on Hasbro Pulse. It is true. The Sentinel that was pre-ordered last year that people got went up like $40 on Hasbro Pulse. The ones that didn't sell. So if you wanted a Sentinel, you're gonna end up spending like $200 something dollars for that. Sup Virgo, Graybeard. They ain't going down. Yep, you're right. Well, there's something going on right now. They may go down, actually. Out of hand, absolutely. There's something that just came out recently. I don't get into politics on my channel at all, but something just came out where there may be a break in the tariffs, and there may be a tax thing coming up. So there may be a little bit of break, or they won't go up this year. Let's just say they won't go up this year, but they may not also go down. I don't know. Don't fall for the vendors that leave the Ross and Ollie's stickers on stuff. There you go. Yeah, because they got it really cheap. You're right about that, Shane. Only the coolest. LOA. Yeah. Ninja Turtles Classified Dragon Fly on Full Force channel. Ninja Turtles Classified Dragonfly. Yeah, they're gonna be doing the Dragonfly. They're doing the Ram motorcycle. They're doing the Ostriker with April O'Neil, Scarlet. So they've got 3 vehicles. Cass, my man, uh, and they're doing 8 figures. They're doing all the figures. I've already mentioned it earlier in the chat. Yeah, this is a good point. Um, Dude Stuff 2025. Thank you. They did, like I said, Cobra Commander, Destro, Snake Eyes, I believe Roblox, a Viper. Who else? Shipwreck, another Viper. So there's a bunch. There's a bunch of them. April O'Neil as Scarlet. So there's a bunch of stuff. OMG, will that be super expensive? Yeah. Oh yeah, all those are going to be expensive. So that's why it's one of those things. I'm going to wait to see if I see it at Target. If I see them at Target and nobody's buying them, I can get them and put them on my Target card, and then I'll have them that way. But I'm probably not going to pre-order them, so they'll probably be revealed at probably New York Comic, Toy Fair in February. So that's where you're probably going to get a lot of spring stuff at Toy Fair. It's usually the end of February. Toy Fair is. So we're going to get stuff at the beginning of February for GI Joe Day. Then we'll get a bunch of stuff for Toy Fair, and then we'll probably get some other stuff peppered after that. Maybe MegaCon, maybe WonderCon, before we get Yojo June in June. So that's where I'm seeing all these drops, or those are the time frames. So there's maybe a couple things for the next 4 months. A little February at the beginning, a little February at the end, some in March, some in April and May, and then Yojo June. So it's going to be very, very difficult. So I hope you guys are able to keep up with all this, and I hope you guys are enjoying this, because if you're not enjoying it and if it's causing you difficulty, then you shouldn't do it. Make sure you take care of your responsibilities first before you do toys. Toys are not a necessity. They're a something that you have as outlet. And so be responsible. Hashtag be responsible, right? So me and Woody, thankfully we have spouses that are very supportive of us and stuff like that. So we can do a lot more than the most average people. I like Playmates. Well, I like Playmates too. I do have some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff. I don't have a lot. I do love it. It's just my bandwidth is so stretched so far. I could only do so much. So I have a set of figures. I think I have a van. I have a bunch of the cartoons. I have a bunch of the comics and things. So that's about as much as I can stand with TMNT at this point. Yeah, they're supposed to make you happy. Exactly, Gunpowder Nitro, exactly. And if it's not, then you need to change, make a change in your life. Toys are a necessity. I can't live without them. No, Cobra, Emperor, 66, Delta, 17, they're not a necessity. Oh man, if you buy enough toys, you can build a house out of all the cardboard. Hey, that's an idea, because I've seen people build houses out of bottles, out of coins, out of little caps and stuff like that. So yeah, I had to put all my TMNT stuff away. It's like 5 bins. Wow, because they've made so much of it. It's like a crazy brand. I got the Technodrome. The TMNT one, that's really cool. Too many hurricanes, Bobby. Uh, but I haven't stopped collecting at all. Wow. Come out in April. Come out in April. Why? What's going on in April? Is that my convention? Are you talking about my convention in April? My daughter loves it. It goes well with her GI Joes. Ha! Funny, Cobra Emperor. Then it rains. LMAO. Ah, I see. Um, Shell Striker with April, Turtle Ram Cycle, and Turtle Caught the Dragonfly, plus 8 figures. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting with all that. But like I said, I'm gonna hold off. I do want it. I do want them because they're GI Joe, but I'm not going to sacrifice my primary things that I get on a regular basis. It's one of those things I'm patient on certain things. Sometimes I'm patient on Super 7 because there's too much going on. So I have to be smart about this. And I hope you guys are too. Use every resource you can to do the best you can. And if you can figure out ways to financially get around things and get them later or cheaper or whatever, help from a buddy or whatever, do that. Ram Cycle, I sure hope it's not way overpriced. I don't think it's going to be. It doesn't come with a vehicle, a figure, I don't think. I can't tell if Raphael is roadblock or heavy duty. Oh, I think there's a heavy duty and a roadblock, actually. There's two. There's one of each, heavy duty and a roadblock. I don't know which one it is. I think it's the one of the mutants is heavy duty. One of the turtles is roadblock, I believe. Let's see. Just buy it all, take out tons of credit cards, get everything. Well, this is probably a little personal, but I am debt free right now. I don't have any credit debt. I'm in really good shape because I'm smart about how I do things. Roblox Orange Pants. Yeah, there you go. Donatello as dial tone is fire. Yep, that's who that is. It's dial tone Donatello. I wasn't sure who that other one was. Dial tone is the coolest. Gunpowder. Yeah, Donnie gets the stash. Ah, I see. Okay. I wasn't sure who that other one was. I was like, who is that? I could picture Heavy Duty, Roblox, Shipwreck, Snake Eyes, Destro, Cobra Commander, one of the Vipers, but I wasn't sure who that other one was. And Dial Tone. That's it. Ah, that's cool. And then April O'Neil, Scarlet. So we'll have 9 figures. I think that's pretty good. 3 vehicles, no Cobra vehicles, only Joe vehicles. Um, I think they should have did 1 Cobra vehicle out of those 3. Maybe instead of the Striker with April, they should have did like a Fang or something with somebody. Maybe one of the foot soldiers with a Cobra Trooper or something like that. Cobra Emperor 66 Delta 17 LMAO. I don't use credit cards. There you go. Smart man. But damn, I might have to start so I can buy everything. Well, if you're going to do it, just use one, and pay it off monthly. If you pay it off monthly, you'll be all right. I see Ray as the blimp. Oh, yeah, there you go. That would be cool. Sometime toys. Cause I'm smart. Cause you're smart. Very smart. Yeah, I have no debt. I use, obviously, I pay my Amazon off monthly. I pay my Target off whenever I buy something. I pay it off that month, and I have one credit card, and I pay it off on a regular basis as well. So yeah, you have to be smart about this stuff. And I know not everybody's in the same boat that I am, or some of you guys have better situations than others, but you got to be smart. Facebook Marketplace, best deals for GI Joes. There you go. That's true. Facebook Marketplace. There's lots of GI Joes on there. I see stuff on there all the time. I look at it all the time because I'm looking for different things. And you're right. They are very reasonable. You're right. Cobra Emperor. Casual toy collector. Hasbro won't follow that trend. You're right. You're probably right about that as well. But I don't know. Hasbro is a tricky situation, but I think they're going to be doing a lot of in-person appearances. So hopefully you guys will be able to see them in person and talk to them and get them some of your opinions and some of your feelings on what they're doing and how they're handling this brand and what they've got going on and stuff like that, and vocalize your opinions positively out, I'm going to say, in some of these opportunities. So in my case, they come to Florida to MegaCon. They came last year for the Transformers HasLab. And so I hope they come this year and I get to talk to them. I got to see Emily last year, and she's a very lovely person. And so there's WonderCon, there's New York Comic Con, there's San Diego Comic Con, there's MCM London, there's the Brazil show. I can't think of the name of it. Something XXP. I can't think of the name of it. There's what else? I'm trying to think of other conventions that they appeared at this year. That might be all the conventions that they've appeared at in the last year or two. So those are probably all the ones they're going to hit again. Hasbro was all about greed, IMAO, price gouging. They got sued in the UK, 32 million for it because they raised prices on everything all at once. Wow, is that why they're not carrying the figures in the store and it's only on Pulse now? I did not know that. That is very interesting, Cobra Emperor. You're giving me some new information. I might stash the money for MegaCon to go in for Joe Fest. Ah, okay. So you're not going to go to MegaCon. You're going to go to Joe Fest this year, same time toys. RICC. There you go, Woody. Thank you very much. That's the Brazil show, right? Yeah, Joe. The problem with Joe Fest is Hasbro won't go to Joe Fest. Uh, Super 7 goes to Joe Fest. Ramen, Skeletron, a lot of these Marauders, Gunrunners, a lot of the independent third-party companies go to Joe Fest, and we're trying to get like NECA, we're trying to get McFarlane Toys to go, but we will never see Mattel or Hasbro. They're just too big. Playmates, too big. It's just one of these days, if we went to like a major city, if we like moved Joe Fest to Atlanta, maybe we could get them, and we would have to do something about a lot of the third party stuff in order to get Hasbro or Mattel or Playmates or those companies to go. Hasbro won't even let their people go to Joe Fest. Nope, they won't. That's true. Same time, Toys, they won't. We tried to get them to just come as creators or content creators or whatever, and they said no because the third party, a lot of the third party stuff that people are kind of, I won't say illegally, but kind of doing weird stuff with the GI Joe brand and the IP of GI Joe, so they won't go because of that. That's what the legal team has told us. So that was a couple years ago. We've been trying for a while to get them, but they will not go. So MegaCon is the closest show that I can get to Hasbro and that team. I hope GI Joe is there this year, not just Transformers. Big single here. Do what I want. LOL. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm sorry that you're single, but I hope that's something you want. And if you have the opportunity to find someone that makes you happy, I wish you the luck on that. I was lucky. I found someone, and I'm very happy. 22 years now. Same time, Toys. It was a bad break from JoeCon. Yeah, it was a bad break from JoeCon. You're right, because they had a contract. Brian Savage had a contract with Joe Hasbro and the Joe team stuff, and it was a rough deal. And then they ended up doing HasCon, and HasCon wasn't exactly what everybody wanted. There was too many complaints about HasCon, and so that's why that never went forward. And Joe Fest is a different beast altogether. It's more of a fans type of convention. Yes, we do have a lot of independent third party companies going there, and second tier companies like Super 7 and stuff like that, but there's too much of the third party stuff going on, and they will not go there because that means they're condoning that. So if they ever had to like sue somebody for something and they went to a convention where they were at, that's like admitting that it's okay to do that. So they're not going to do that. So MegaCon is a international convention that's existed for since 92. So let's see, 92, 10, 20, 35 or 36 years. So it's a different situation, and it's a corporation, huge corporation, and they do like 7 conventions a year. So that's why they're going to MegaCon. That's why they go to WonderCon. That's why they go to San Diego Con. That's why they go to New York Comic Con. That's why they're going to MCM London. That's why they're going to the Brazil show. Let's see. Let's see. Casual toy collection. The Turtle Joe crossover in April. Oh, okay, I see. Do you think our company that always advertises where fans come first would embrace fandom? uh, fan cons, ran cons. You would think so, but the logic is not there. It's legal, and like a couple of you guys said, it's about money. So they're not gonna leave money on the table because they were trying to be friendly to us. You would think, but that's the thought process I'm having with it. That's my understanding of the whole situation. But it is what it is. So if you guys really want to see Hasbro, come to MegaCon or go to New York Comic Con if you're on the East Coast, and go to WonderCon, San Diego Comic Con if you're on the West Coast. There's nothing in the middle. There's no Midwest at all. So unfortunately, I apologize for you guys that don't have that opportunity. I wish Hasbro would lower prices and care about customers. Well, they I'm going to leave that one there because there's different thought processes on that, Corporate Emperor. Uh, and put more products in the stores like the 1980s and stop putting everything on clearance right after less than a year. The clearance is a bit of the store's responsibility. I don't know if it's Hasbro's responsibility to price the product. They give a SRP when it's brought to the store, but the way that the stores none of them communicate with each other. So there's not a lot of information there. So like that, let's use for example that display, that big display, that was that big fall display, that was only in 500 stores, and Walmart has like 3,200 stores. So that was only supposed to come out in October, like the second week of October. That was the time release date of that display, and all the product was supposed to be held for that display at that time. But because there's no communication, they don't know what one hand is doing on the other hand, the product got released early and put out because they don't want it in the back of the room, back stock in the warehouse. And that display got all screwed up, wasn't put out when it was supposed to. And so a lot of times it was empty. So a lot of people plugged it with a lot of things that wasn't supposed to be on it. So there's a little bit of inside baseball from my retail experience. So I hope that helped you out on that. Woody, have a good night, everybody. I'm feeling feeding fast. Plus, I got a super early day tomorrow. I'll catch the restaurant replay. Dave and everybody in the chat. Have a good night. Thank you, Woody. You take care. It's always a pleasure to have you. And have a good night. We'll talk to you later. Things should be on the shelves way longer, like the 1980s and 1990s. I agree with you. I agree with you, Cobra Emperor. But I'm not in charge of that. So that's just the way it is. That's the way that this whole thing works. Retail is a tricky situation because there's not enough people that care about toys at these retailers, and the retailer don't communicate properly, and that's why Hasbro's having to get vendor merchants in the stores again to make sure this stuff is handled properly, because they did away with that a couple of years ago, and that was where they let go of a lot of associates, was in their firings, was a lot of their merchant vendor people that were going to stores to make sure certain things were handled right, because the store in-store people didn't care, management didn't care in the toy area of the store. So there you go. They should have way more toys. Oh, I already saw that. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Way more toys on shelves, collectors and kids. Kids have birthdays all year round. Like, yeah, you're right. But I can tell you a lot of the kids today are not buying the toys that you and I are buying, Corporate Emperor. They're buying like bikes, they're buying scooters, they're buying interactive type things like bash and play type stuff. That's why Transformers does so well, because they're doing a lot more younger scale toys. That's why like Bakugan and Beyblade and a lot of gaming toys like the Mario Brothers toys and the Sonic the Hedgehog toys, that type of toy is doing very well, and Nerf is doing very well, and Barbie is doing very well. But the action figure, the collector action figure market, it's not geared to kids. It's geared to older adults in their late 30s to higher. Uh, I'm I'm out as well. You guys have a good night. Thank you very much, Gunpowder Nitro. I'm gonna probably call it quits myself. So thank you everybody in the chat. Most times I go shopping for my 5 daughters. You can't find anything because it's not Christmas time. It's difficult. I agree with you. It's difficult. I'm not saying it's easy the way that the stores are, but there's no Toys R Us. They put Toys R Us. They put KB. The Toys R Us at Macy's is a bit shady. And they put out Kids World is out. Maybe GameStop you can get some stuff. I don't know. They should put out way more in the stores. Yeah, I agree. But it's because they don't want to have stuff laying around in the back. If you knew how much toys are in the back rooms of these stores, Walmarts and Targets, you would be like, holy crap, why isn't that stuff out? Because there's not enough room. A lot of the toys are not selling. The toy market has really taken a hit since COVID. The toy industry has taken a huge hit. People are not buying toys the way they used to. Um, so there you go. Toys R Us doesn't carry much anymore. No, the Toys R Us in Macy's are basically KB Toys R Us merchandise stuff, and then a lot of generic brands. You're right. They have very little of anything else. So, all right. Thank you guys. You guys have been great. We've been on here for quite a while. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I appreciate everybody after the fact watching the replay crew. Always, you guys are wonderful. And I look forward to seeing you guys again in the future in our next episodes. They have tons of room. They are just lazy and don't put toys out. I don't know about that one. Don't be sorry. Later. See you guys. We used to have wall-to-wall toys in 1980s and 90s. Yeah, you're right. But the way that they did stuff was back then was different. They didn't have an inventory system back then. Nowadays they do. They can track and control the inventory. When I started in the retail world myself, they had to have 5 of each item in the back to make sure they had enough overstock to fill the shelves on a daily basis. That went away, and now the inventory system, they can pick and choose, and they can reduce their inventory and stop inventory, add inventory. It's a lot more controlled than it used to be. But toys take up a lot of space, and that's why I was saying there's a lot of toys in the back rooms, and you'd be surprised how much is back there. But the floors have a lot out there. Trust me, they do. And they've added that top shelf section. So you see all that overstock that's up there. That's the first stage of overstock. But then the back room has tons and tons of steel with overstock as well. So, all right, you guys take care. Have a good night. We'll see you in the next one. And yo, Joe.